Hey you guys, so I know it's been such a long time since I made my last YouTube video, but a ton has gone on in my life, and I bet almost all of you are wondering, Shell, why did you just pick up your life and move to LA? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I moved to LA, what I've been doing for like the past year. So much has happened in my life, and I'm so ready to share my story and about what has been going on. So if you're interested, which I know you are, definitely keep watching because this is going to be crazy. So in October 2019, that's when everything kind of started to unfold. And what happened was I was dealing with a lot of stomach issues. So I was going to doctors, we were doing tests, trying to figure everything out. It was very stressful on my body. I lost a lot of weight because I couldn't eat much of anything. So we did a lot of tests and everything came back good. I was diagnosed with IBS, which is basically just a stomach disorder where you're very sensitive to everything. So I've been dealing with a diet that is gluten-free and dairy-free. I don't eat much of any other things, so it's been very strict. So that's been frustrating, especially dealing with like going out to eat and stuff like that. It's been a little bit hard, but I've been incorporating more foods into my diet, and I mean, I can see a difference. I don't know if you guys can, but I was very skinny for a while. But it took a long time for me to get through that. There's nothing wrong with me. I have some food allergies and some sensitivities that I basically just have to deal with and learn to live with for my entire life. On top of my stomach issues, like I was losing a little bit of weight, and then maybe around December, like I was starting to feel better, like stomach wise. But then it got worse, like really, really bad. I couldn't eat anything. I was sick constantly. I lost a ton of weight. I was taking supplements that I went to a nutritionist for. Um, I couldn't eat normal things. And this happened around December because I was getting better. And then by December, like Christmas time, I was not doing well. I was like doubled over in pain. I was maybe around like 80 pounds at the time. And I was just in so much pain, I didn't know what to do. And because of the whole nutrients problem, my skin started to change. I had a lot of acne. I was dealing with severe anxiety where I wouldn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to be around people. I was not in a good place. Like my hair was very thin. I was getting like gray hair from stress. It was insane. And since the lack of nutrients, I started to bruise a lot. Like I was bruising on my arms and on my legs, especially my shins because I have a little dog, Minnie. She's a Yorkie, and she likes to jump, so she was hitting my legs all the time. So I was getting these like really purple bruises. And at the time, I was wearing pants because it was cold out. It was like around December, so in New Jersey it's very cold. So I had tight pants on, and I noticed like my legs looked a little funny, like ingrown hairs or something. I know this might be a little TMI for most of you, but like this is what it is. I thought it was ingrown hair because I was wearing pants and it's cold. So I just let that be. I was like, whatever, I'll change different soaps. I was getting recommendations from friends, trying different lotions, just changing things up because your skin changes with the seasons. And I thought it was getting better, but then I started getting more bruises, and the bruises stayed about the same size for a long period of time. They weren't really going away. And the ingrown hairs started to get a little bigger looking. They started to look purple. And when I say purple, it wasn't a bump. Like, it wasn't like a bump. It was discoloration, sort of like a bruise, but it was purple. There were little spots all over my legs. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to post photos over here on the side of what my legs were looking like. They may be a little graphic, so this is a warning right now. You get a little squeamish, you might not want to watch this, but I'll flash it here and there, and I'll keep a disclaimer on the bottom so I could show you. But yeah, my legs had little spots that were purple from the knee down to my ankle, and even like like this part of my foot, like around the ankle and like the arch of the foot from shoes, they became severely bruised as well. So they were purple. And from like the lack of nutrients, I was seeing a nutritionist at the time for my stomach, and we were trying different foods, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it some time. She said, you know, like, it's probably just from your lack of nutrients. Once we get vitamins in you, change your diet, everything will be good. So I was going to her for about a month or two, and I started seeing her from like December to February. And during that time, my legs were still really, really bad. I started to not be able to walk. I couldn't straighten my legs. I couldn't stand in place. Like, I would brush my teeth and I couldn't stand up. I was in excruciating pain, holding onto the sink, crying because I couldn't stand up. It felt like knives were being jabbed into my legs. To sit down on the bathroom, I would have to put my legs out and then like squat, and like I couldn't move them. I couldn't put on clothes. I couldn't put on pants. I had to wiggle around. It was an ordeal to take a shower. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was dying. I lost my ability to walk. Like, I could walk on the balls of my feet, bent legs, crouching around like this, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't make dinner for myself, and it even got to the point where I was crying. And I'm a very strong person. I keep my emotions intact, but I thought I was gonna die. I really didn't know what to do. I was in so much pain. I thought I was going to go away. I didn't know what was going on. I went to the hospital because my stomach was killing me. And I have a very high pain tolerance. And when I went to the hospital, they didn't do anything. They gave me painkillers and they said, well, you have an appointment with your regular doctor, go to them. And I went, and at the time they were like, no, it's just because of your stomach and your nutrients, it'll all be okay. But like, it kept getting worse and worse, and it even affected my intestines. Also, a little bit TMI, the way that my legs were bothering me, it was systemic. So it was like within my blood vessels, which I'll get to that. But at the time, I was dealing with very severe stomach pain, with the fact that I had trouble using the bathroom, which I know is gross. I know girls don't poop, but it just is what it is. I couldn't go. So girls don't poop. And it hurt so bad that I actually had to call in my mom into the bathroom because I would cry and be in such severe pain. Like, I felt terrible. Like, I can't even explain the feeling. I just felt so vulnerable that I had to call in somebody to hold my hand and like squeeze them. Well, I felt like shards of glass were down there. It was the most pain I've ever been in my life. And I felt embarrassed and just, I just felt bad. Like, who wants to call their parent into the bathroom and you have to hold their hand and you're like deep breathing like you're having a child because you're in that severe pain, but like you gotta let it out, you know? And I couldn't. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. So I had to start taking laxatives. And I was like, this is not the way life should be. Doctors weren't calling me back. So I finally like went into my doctor, and like it was a process to get there. Like, I couldn't even walk out of my house down the stairs. I had to sit my butt on a stair and scoot my way down the stairs because I could not move. I could not lift my legs to go down the stairs or up the stairs. I had to shuffle. I had to get someone to help me move from the curb down onto the driveway and then help me get picked up into the car. And I was bruising so badly that I had large massive bruises on the backs of my hamstrings. So I had large bruises there on my knees, on my legs, and onto my feet. So by the time I went to the doctor, they were like, you know, you weigh 70 pounds, like, you're very pale. Like, what's wrong? Like, why haven't you been to the doctor? And it's like, I've been going to specialists. Nobody would do anything. I went to the hospital. They were just like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, it's nothing. This was something big time. And I did a lot of research on my own at home. And the reason it took me to go to the doctor so long, because I was scared, because I knew my diagnosis. I knew what was wrong with me. I had a gut feeling. I knew it was going to be vasculitis. And sure enough, I go to the doctor and, oh, easy, you have vasculitis. Yeah. So, I mean, partly I waited maybe like 3 weeks before going to the doctor because I knew what it was. It's a rare condition. And I didn't want to be diagnosed with something that was autoimmune, because that means you have it for your whole life. And it was very hard to hear the diagnosis on the spot. So, like, I already knew what it was, so I prepared myself prior to the appointment. So a vasculitis is inflammation of the blood vessels, and the type that I had was called HSP. I will write it down right here what it is. I don't know how to say it, but it basically happens from your knee down, your lower extremities. It is usually exacerbated by a viral infection, or systemic, like an autoimmune disease, which means it was like dormant in your system and then something made it happen. Also, it could happen from an allergic reaction. And they did extensive testing through my primary care physician and also through a rheumatologist, because it's a systemic thing, so they wanted to check it out. Luckily, it wasn't autoimmune. They did take a biopsy of one of the spots. I was put on steroids to reduce the swelling, the inflammation, because my legs were swollen too. Even though I was 70 pounds, nobody could tell that my shins and legs were swollen, but they very much were, because I could feel it. And the effects of the steroids made me crazy. Like, my anxiety was like out of this world. And I'm grateful that I took them, because my legs, the swelling went down, the spots went away. I was able to walk again. It took a long time though. It took from about March to May for me to get full movement back in my legs. And still to this day in July, they're still a little bit sore. I have to make sure to eat and take certain vitamins to optimize my blood vessels. But yeah, everything was deemed viral. So they said it was probably caused by a viral infection. And because I am a detective, ever since this all started, I put together this whole package that I might do another video on. Let me know in the comments below, but I am pretty sure that I had COVID-19, which was an upper respiratory infection, because that's kind of what started. I thought I had a very bad allergic reaction to something because I had trouble breathing. I was having stomach ailments, which all coincides. And at the time in January, it really wasn't a big thing in the US, but there's cases where it's been in the US since about like November or even October, like October, November, December, January, before all of this. So yeah, because we're still kind of in quarantine right now. But I do believe that is what I had, because the doctor said it came from a viral infection, which is what COVID-19 is. I was having very bad, like I was having really trouble, I can't even speak. I was having a lot of trouble breathing, and since I have a lot of allergies, I assumed it was just that, but I was having a lot of problems breathing. I was having stomach problems, very, very low blood pressure, and they say that there are articles, I'll also list them below, that said many patients actually did have vascular issues. They said in kids that kids were showing signs of Kawasaki disease. Kawasaki disease is something that children get, and it's vascular. So there were a few articles actually in New Jersey about children having that. And then since I was at such a low weight and that happening, I kind of correlated to each other. Then there are also articles of adults that dealt with vascular issues. And that was kind of the onset of the disease. And since nobody really knew what COVID-19 was, it manifested differently in different people. And I have asked my doctors about this, and they said that it's quite possible that I had it, that I could have caught it since my immune system was kind of low to begin with, from that I could have caught it because of how low my immune system was because of my stomach issues, and that since I was very low on weight, nutrients, and just like food in general, they said it was very possible that I could have had it, and that there's no possible way at that time to even test me, because antibodies go away, I believe they said, in about 3 months. And by the time that I was getting all this testing done, the antibodies would have been gone, so it would have showed up as negative. So they said if, things were a little bit more proactive in the US, that maybe I would have gotten some better information, then I maybe would have gotten this cleared up a little sooner. So I do think that that is what happened. I believe I caught it possibly from a doctor appointment that I went to, or just being out at the grocery store. I mean, it could be from anywhere. But I am pretty sure that is what happened to me. But fast forward, all of this happened between October and now. So October I had stomach issues, and they got really bad, and then I started to get these leg symptoms and this very, very bad allergic reaction, which caused me to lose the feeling in my legs, and they just, like, I couldn't walk. That whole thing that happened between like January and March. And at that time, since I couldn't walk or do much of anything, I was quarantined. So I was quarantined from like December to March of like 2019, 2020. And then by the time I was cleared to start, well, okay, I wasn't cleared yet. I was able to walk again. That's when quarantine started and everybody had to be in the house, and that's when COVID really like became a real big issue in the US. So by the time I was able to walk, I was at home. And since I was on steroids at the time, I was told that I was immunocompromised and that I should stay home as well. But there are articles that say steroids, corticosteroids that I was on, prednisone, that actually was used to help COVID patients. So I can understand why that would help, because for me it did. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But once I was able to walk again, I did get more testing done and everything came back good. And then I was cleared in May to do whatever I wanted to do. I was able to walk, I could eat again, like I was in such a better mood, like I was back working with a nutritionist with my stomach. And then I planned my trip to LA. 2019 and the start of 2020 was very difficult for me in New Jersey. Being in New Jersey was hard to begin with. I will give you another video about anxiety and how I have dealt with it. I dealt with a lot of anxiety back there. And then, like once I was cleared and everything, one of my dreams has always been to move to LA. So I put in the work. I found a place online and booked my flight a few times. Then I chickened out a few times because I was a little nervous. But then I got here, and honestly, I couldn't imagine my life any other way. It has been so difficult being here, but I love it. I really love my roommates. I love the area that I'm living in. I love the sunshine. I feel like myself here. I never felt like myself back in New Jersey on the East Coast. I just really like it here so much, and I could never imagine going back to the East Coast and living there like ever again. I know I was pretty serious in this video, but this is how I got here. I dealt with a lot. I took life for granted. I didn't realize that I could lose something that meant so much to me so quickly. You don't think one day you just won't be able to walk. I took that for granted. I took being able to brush my teeth and standing up for granted. I took all of that for granted, and I was like, you know what? If I don't like New Jersey, I'm gonna move. And it's gonna be hard moving to a new place where you don't know anybody and didn't have a job. And I was like, you know what? This is part of life. If I need to hustle and do what I need to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm not taking anything for granted anymore, because nobody knows what I really went through. I was pretty composed in this video, because it's really my first time telling anybody about it, especially you guys. I've talked to, my close friends. My close friends, you guys know who you are, and you guys were there for me so much in this time. You don't even know. I know I snapped at you guys. I was crying, acting crazy, and just, I was very emotional because it was such a hard time for me, and nobody knows how many breakdowns I had. Thinking you're gonna die, thinking you're not gonna be able to walk again. Some people might say, oh, you were being dramatic, but I wasn't. I was never in a position to feel like I was literally, I didn't know what to do with myself. To even compare what they were going through to what I was, and everybody is going through their own thing. Nobody's is more than the other. It's just different. And we're never gonna 100% understand what somebody is going through, even if it does happen to you. If somebody dealt with the same thing that I did, it wouldn't be the same. We would understand that we were in a lot of pain, but we wouldn't understand exactly what you went through. And I felt very alone this whole time because nobody knew what I was going through. Nobody understood the pain. And I've always been a person to have this strong exterior because that's who I am. I've always learned to stick up for myself, to just, suck it up, to just like do what you have to do, do what you have to do to move forward. And it was hard. I've been strong my whole entire life. And like, people don't give me enough credit sometimes because I don't share my business with the world. And now I'm going to, which makes me feel very vulnerable. This is what's been going on. Like, I was crumbling. I was at the lowest of lows, 70 pounds, couldn't eat a thing, crying, mood swings from the low weight and then being on steroids and dealing with body changes. Like, low body weight means high anxiety. And it was just insane because people would be like, oh, you look good. But then some people would be saying like, oh, you look really skinny. Like, are you sick? Like, are you okay? Like, and it felt kind of bad. People did body shame me a lot because I didn't share what was going on with me, especially in TikTok videos, because I was very skinny. Like, my legs were very skinny and my arms, everything. And, only one person reached out to me that I knew from my personal life. It was when I started gaining weight back, when I was feeling better. One person reached out to me concerned that I was underweight. And at first I was defensive because nobody had said anything. So I thought, oh, like, this person has like the wrong intentions. They say I look bad. Like, why are they acting this way towards me? But then I put it into perspective, and this person cared. This person wanted to make sure that I was okay. And unfortunately, not many people asked. Not many people asked, oh, why aren't you posting on social media? It was more like, you're ignoring me. Like, I don't like you. What are you doing? It wasn't like, oh, are you okay? Like, something going on. And I even told a couple people what was going on with me health-wise. People didn't check up, So I am grateful for the people that were there for me through this whole thing, because I honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And I want to thank you guys for kind of sticking along with me, because this was a really hard time and I'm used to keeping everything to myself. And I think it's just time for me to share really what's going on. And no, this isn't everything that happened. But it is a majority of what happened. So, yeah, I did a lot of talking. Things won't be as serious in the future, probably, in these videos, but this is a serious video for me because it literally changed my life. And I would not go back to anything in the past, ever. Like, this is the new me. I'm Michelle. I'm in California, living out my dream, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, if you're here for this ride with me, then definitely join in. I like who I am right now, and I like who I'm becoming. I'm so strong. I'm probably the strongest I've ever been. I've gained weight, if you haven't seen yet, but I'm feeling so much better. I'm in a place that's sunny all the time. I'm with people who want to see me, to hang out with me, who love me for who I am, who like me for who I am, like, whatever it is. Like, this is just so much better. Like, and everybody's like, oh, you're glowing since you're in LA. Like, you just have this different way about you. It's because I'm happy. Like, I'm happy here. And it shows. You can still struggle and be happy. And, you know, just know that no matter what kind of face you put on for other people, like, other people are going through things that you don't even know. So this should be kind of like a PSA to everybody. Don't judge someone just by their outer appearance. And, you know, I have a big heart. I don't bully people, so you shouldn't bully other people as well. If you see they look a little skinny, if they gain weight, you don't know what they're going through. I'm very understanding, and I feel like that's something that's really hard to find. So if you want to be my friend, if you want to hang out, if you want to just talk in comments or DMs, like, they are open. Yes, I am very bad with DMs and messages. I'm going to admit that right off the bat. I've kind of had to come to terms with that lately, but I am open to everyone. You can share your life with me, and this is just my life. And this has been a long video, kind of a lot of me rambling. It's not really my full personality, I guess, but I really wanted to share this video with you guys because I've dealt with a lot this past year, and things have been hard. They still are hard for me. So just think, when you talk to somebody, treat them the way that you want to be treated, because you never know what somebody is going through. And, you know, that's it. So I'm going to be posting more YouTube videos, probably once a week to start, and then twice a week. And I think you guys will really like what I'll be doing. I'll be sharing like makeup tips, but I'll also be talking about like dating life. Just whatever you guys want, clothing hauls, let me know in the comments. I'll talk about anything, honestly. But this video is pretty serious for me because it's just something that means a lot to me, and health means a lot to me. So I hope all of you guys are happy and healthy and anxiety free, and that you're getting your sunshine and have good people in your life, because you deserve it. So if you want to know what else is going on with me, make sure to subscribe to my channel, to give this video a thumbs up, comment, share videos. If you know somebody else that has dealt with health issues this past year, make sure to tag them in the comments below. Maybe we can have a little conversation about it. I think it's great to connect with other people that have maybe dealt with the same thing. So if you know somebody that was dealing with anxiety, shoot them over to my video, because I'm going to be putting out some tips, because my anxiety has gotten so much better since I've been out to LA, and I really want to share these tips with you because I feel like they really work. So yeah, thanks for watching this really long video. I'm really sorry, but a lot has been going on, and I really want to thank you for watching. So bye.